looking forward to getting back out to the action this week. Team had a good bye week, rested up, got some good work. Looking forward to a big rivalry game this week with Louisville. They're certainly playing some very good football, coming off a big win this past week at ND. So we're excited and rested and ready to get to this challenge here this week.
Dwayne Baker's not on the depth chart?
Yeah, he got hurt last week, so he's done for the year. He's going to need surgery.
On what?
Knee. Yeah. Unfortunate accident. We were practicing against each other, doing some good on good, but really it was no contact. He just planted awkward and hurt his knee.
You wanted to get back to some basics during that bye week. What do you think you benefited the most from during that?
Well, it was good just to get out and, after a couple days of rest, get out and do some good competitive work. Get back to some fundamentals, do some things that we do through camp where we go good against good and do some one-on-ones. We did some half line and did some things where we just, technique-wise need to get better. Sometimes, throughout the season, you get so enamored with the X's and O's and assignments that you drift from some of the basics. We obviously try not to. We constantly have individual and in certain things, but it was good just to spend more time with that last week.
Neil mentioned that he sat down and he would break down every play they've run, every position grouping together. Is there anything you guys do similarly on the defense?
Yeah, we'll go back. When you have time like that, we go back and look at all the things we've done well, things we've done poorly. Whether it be technique, somebody just getting beat, scheme, whatever it might be, and try to zero in on things that they'll be looking at and things that they'll want to exploit. And so we spent a good dose of time looking at ourselves, trying to get better, and then obviously getting ahead on Louisville.
Did that reveal anything to you that you may be in the moment, or as the games were just kind of going week to week, you hadn't necessarily identified about yourself?
Well, I think you're always learning. As I say, just speaking general terms here, I think you're always looking at things and seeing things you could do better, again, whether it be fundamentals or scheme.
You sitting here today, do you feel a little fresher as a coach?
A little what?
A little fresher just mentally?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't help but feel, better. Yeah, it gets to be a lot when you got, I think it was 8 straight weeks. So, it was nice to have one day off.
Which day was that for you?
Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Jesse, you still watch football on that day?
I did. Yeah. Couldn't get away from it too far. I didn't watch as much as I normally do, though. Actually, got out of the house, took my boys out of the house for a while. Most of it. Mm-hmm. Most of it. I caught good portion of it. A good, obviously very, very impressive win for them. Their coach is doing a great job. They're, they haven't missed a beat to what they've been doing. They win a bunch of football games. They play extremely hard. They're very well coached, and that's an impressive win. And they're playing good football.
Mark, what are your impressions of Reggie Bonner?
I've been impressed. Very cool. He's been just very poised back there, making good decisions, and I think it's also speaks a lot to Coach Petrino and what he does and how he calls plays and protects them. And he's got a very good football team around him that are physical, that could run the ball. They do a nice job of mixing it up, keeping you off balance. And you've heard me talk about that all year. That's why you need balance. They have very good balance. They're physical, can hurt you in the run game, and then they have the play actions off of it. So I think Reggie's played some very good football, and along with their whole offense, and certainly them having Devontae back outside is a real weapon. He is a fantastic football player and a guy you constantly got to have your eye on and know where he's at.
Some rivalries are built on respect, others are kind of built on a dislike. How do you define this rivalry between Kentucky and Louisville?
Well, we're trying to create it to be a bigger and better rivalry, and I think that comes from us having to play better football and winning more games and putting ourselves in a position where we could get this game on a more national scale. But it's important. It's important to the people in this state. It's important to our fans and our players and coaches. So I think it's just like most of these games. It's important to a lot of people, and you feel that, and you want to go play well.
Now that it's here at the end of the season, in retrospect, when you look back, do you like it being that last end of the year?
I really don't even put any thought into that anymore. It is what it is, so we're excited and ready for this opportunity.
Coach, we often talk about the physicality of playing in the SEC. How did they stack up compared to the opponents you've had?
Oh, I think there's no question they're a nationally ranked top 20 team and deserve to be. So they're a very good football team that's physical and they're balanced. So it's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, you'd have to make your own decision on that of where they stack up with the rest of the SEC. I think, yeah, that's all right. Go on.
They ran the ball pretty effectively, especially in the second half, Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran some sets where they ran offset lines or tackles as tight ends. What's going to be the key to trying to stop that?
I think they do a very good job. I don't think it's any secret that Coach Petrino does a nice job of setting up his run game and scheming the run game. Not so much just like some teams just line up and pound you with certain run plays. They scheme their run game very well and have some really good boots and play actions off of everything and keep you off balance. And I think that's the key to any good play caller is keeping you off balance.
They've got one guy with 13 interceptions in the secondary. How do you combat a guy like that? And it's safety, is it possible to throw away from him, or is it just how?
Yeah, Holloman. I remember him coming out of high school, and very good player there from Florida. He's just the other safety, number 2, is just as good. Maybe doesn't have the numbers, but very good football players, both of them. So. Pardon me?
Talking about the run game and how they scheme it.
Yeah.
They run a lot of they do a lot of unbalanced line and stuff like that and crease.
They do some. They do some. They mix it up, but he likes certain run plays versus 4 down, certain versus 3 down. Certain guys are going to pull, and again, once again, just a variety of things. I think it's a credit to them. Sometimes when you look at their whole body of work, they do quite a bit and execute it very well. And so what and how they want to feature each week, is something you got to keep an eye on. But he likes certain plays versus 4 down, certain versus 3. And again, I think they execute them. The key to them and their success is they execute them very well.
So rivalry game, you're playing for a bowl. Are you concerned at all that you guys might get a little bit too caught up in the moment, especially at the start?
I hope not. I don't think we'll be tight. We shouldn't be. We've got a lot to play for. Guys are excited and energized. Like I said, it's been a good tough stretch against some quality teams down the stretch here. We got a time for a bye, and we're playing our rival on the road for an opportunity to go to a bowl game. So it is what it is. We'll prepare and be excited to go play, but there's no reason to be tense or to go, play tight, and I don't anticipate that. I'd like to see us play with that great passion and energy that we did for most of the season.
Would it be extra gratifying to get it against your rivals like this?
I really don't care who we get it against. I think it'll be, yeah. So really doesn't, I think, no, I just love to get it. Good.
It really surprised you about the poise and the coolness that the Wildcats plays with?
Yeah, I think I'm just impressed with him. I think you could see that he comes from a great high school program. You could see that he's won a lot of football games. And I think it's a credit to their coaching staff and the positions that they put him in. I think that's the nice thing. When you have balance in your offense. So they don't have to necessarily just put it all on him to win a game. They have good players around him in a good scheme.
Marcus Patrick had any lingering effects from the ankle injury at Tennessee?
We'll see how he is today. Hopefully he'll be out there at full strength today. So we'll see.
What would you like to see from him closing out the year?
Well, I'd just like to see him go back to really, playing a quality game. He's had some ups and downs. We've all seen that. He's, done some very good things at times, and so I'd like to see him really put it all on the line this last week and go out and just play and have be the great leader that he's shown at times this year, and really just lay it on the line and play a quality football game for us.
Obviously, a lot's changed since the last time you played Coach Petrino.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you learn? What have you learned about him since playing the last time last year?
Well, I think just more time to study him, and we're different. I think we're different right now. He's different in some ways, but some things are a staple that you could go back a long time with him. But just the opportunity to really study him some more and just see, what he likes in certain situations and what he likes in the run game to certain people. But he's a very good football coach and got a lot of answers, and again, mixes things up very well.
Mark, when you've had defensive games like you guys had against Georgia and Tennessee, are there things you did last week to try to build?
Pardon me?
When you struggled defensively like you did against Georgia and Tennessee, were there things you did in the off week to try to build those guys back up?
Yeah, we did, and a lot of it, was, putting guys in competitive situations again and making competitive plays. I think, you look at those games and we weren't making our fair share of competitive plays, and it gets down to making plays and being a good football player at times, and fundamentally getting guys in the right spots. So we worked on everything. Yeah.
What you've seen on film with Louisville's front and maybe from Saturday's game, what really stands out about how they attack, how they pressure a quarterback?
Well, they play extremely hard. They play very hard, and I think if you look at Coach Grantham and what they've done defensively, I think in certain ways, maybe simplified, maybe in certain ways, and their guys are playing very hard, and I think that's been the thing I've noticed the last 2 years playing Louisville. To their credit, I think they play very hard, and their guys are, their front gets after it and plays like I said, plays relentless, and as does their whole defense. They've played really well.
Mark, would you say win or lose, this has been a successful season for you?
I'll let you decide on whether it's been successful or not. I really haven't put any thought into that, to be honest with you. I know we're a better football team. I felt like that coming into the year that we'd be better. I think we are better. Are we where I really want to be? No, and probably not where a lot of people want to be. So, we're going to keep on working and keep on getting better. But I am proud of this team. I felt like they've been a fun group to coach. They mean well, they work hard, and they have a great attitude. We're not quite as good as we'd like to be.
Along those lines, though, what would a win this weekend do?
Well, I think a win this weekend would do an awful lot for these players. I think they deserve it. I think, that's what I've told them is they put in the work, they put in the time, they care, and they deserve to win and have that taste of success and that taste of a bowl game, and I'd like to see that for them.
For a coaching staff that, you guys started so well, 5-1, to not go into the offseason with six losses in a row. I mean, this momentum-wise, recruiting, everything.
Yeah.
How important is it to try to avoid that?
I think it's important. I don't ever, you really try not to ever think about this streak or that streak or whatever. You put your head down and go, one at a time. You'd obviously, anytime, I've made no bones about that. Every win's a huge win for us right now when you're trying to build a program. That's what's difficult when you play, the stretch that we have. When you're trying to build a football program in the SEC, it's not, there's no easy ones out there, and it really can take its toll on you when you're not as physical as you'd like to be. And that's where, it's pretty evident that we have to go back to recruiting, like we talked about, and really working our players and physically developing them to get bigger and stronger.
On the recruiting front, do you feel like the losses have maybe put any doubt in players' heads, or have you guys felt pretty?
No, not at all. Mm-mm. Feel very good about where we're at and where we're going recruiting.
Mark, you mentioned Parker, a fantastic player. What are your corners going to have to do against him to be competitive?
Well, you know, I think we've got to compete certainly better than we've been here in the past couple of weeks, you know, and we've got to compete at a much higher level. We've got to be very conscientious of where he's at. We've got to have guys underneath, if it's zone coverages or different things, getting to their spots and getting under him so we, you know, can affect them a little bit. And again, I think that's where you know, any offense that has the balance and can run and pass puts you in that situation where, you know, they could get him in some one-on-ones because they could run the ball. And so we got to be very, once again, once we read the play action or boots or certain things, trying to get people under him to help.
Are your corners healthy? You seem to have kind of
Yeah, we were banged up pretty good. I think we're in pretty good shape now. We'll be better. We'll see what this weekend did for them, and they should be out there this week ready to go.
Mark, you had a rivalry game against Tennessee. This was Louisville. You know the players are excited and they're fired. How fired up are you to play such a game, a rivalry game?
I think the whole staff and everybody's excited about it. You know, we've talked about that right after, you know, the last game. That's the beautiful thing is we have this opportunity here in front of us to get the 6th victory against a big rival. And you know, a lot of people would believe in this state that it's the most important game of the year, you know, and so it's important and it's exciting.
Do you believe that?
And I think every game's important. I really do.
Do you put any more importance on this game than any other? Obviously not, right?
No, I don't. No, I think, like I just said, I think all of them are important. We all know how difficult they are to come by, and so I think each one is very important to us. You know, just that you know, winning. You know, when you win, it's obviously builds that confidence within your team. That's what's difficult. You know, when you're playing the schedule that we play. You know, the players need to feel that success. I think it was great to get off to that start that we did. But you know, anytime you've lost, you know, certain number of games in a row, that doubt's obviously going to creep up into their mind, and that's what we have to get out of there. And that's why we just had to have a great week of preparation and go play with that great excitement and enthusiasm that we did in certain games.
It's often said that the players are perhaps the best recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
And does the doubt, I don't know about losing, but to say hypothetically, does that doubt in that man seep through to a recruit that they'll?
No, I don't worry about that one bit. No, I don't, because we have a good group of players that enjoy playing here and that have really worked hard and done the right things. And I think you could ask them. I think they have full trust in what we're doing. So I don't worry about that at all on the recruiting front.
In college football, you rarely get the chance, a win or go home opportunity. Does that change the message you're telling to your team this week?
You know, to some extent, I guess. You know, just simple things in your message that you're talking about. I think we all know what we're playing for. They know that. There's no point in hiding from it. You know, and but it's not the only message, right? I mean, you know, the message is to do what we constantly preach, and that's put the time and effort and focus into our preparation. It's not just turning it on game day. You know, we've got to have a great week.
Anybody else you're worried about injury-wise?
I think Kyle Meadows probably will be a long shot to play.
Looked like Denzel Ware was tweeting about maybe being injured over the weekend. Or
He's fine. He did. He did tweet that out. I didn't hear that. Yeah. He's freshman. Yeah.
Do you have any Twitter guidelines that you enforce on those guys?
Well, I tell them to not tweet about injuries, amongst other things, amongst a lot of things. Yeah, we bring in professionals with a full seminar on what to do and what not to do with tweeting. It doesn't always work. No, you need that seminar about once a week.
You talked about Kyle Meadows. What about your line? How do you feel like they played, and where would you like to see them improve?
Yeah, I think you know, we're developing some depth inside. I think we've done some good things. And once again, I know it's a broken record, but I mean, we're not where we want to be. I think they've battled hard. They're trying. You know, we're you know, inexperienced at certain positions inside that we're trying to gain some depth. I thought the tackles have played extremely hard. You know, Swindle's a great leader and a great player for us. We know he's made some mental mistakes. Once again, it's not for the lack of effort with him, that's for sure. You know, I thought Darian's really done some good things and really played through some injury and really left it all on the field this year. He's really played really hard, and I'm very proud of Darian and the way, you know, he's tried to battle and help this team.
Mark, you're almost through the first year. Has Matt Elam progressed at the rate you had hoped for?
Yeah, he's about where we thought he would be. Yeah, he really is. He's done some very good things, and once again, he's still a work in progress. But Matt's going to be a very good football player. He's got the right attitude. He works hard, and you know, he's getting better and better.
Is it just technique that you will emphasize with him in the offseason?
It is. It's technique. Well, it is. It's technique and understanding the urgency that you have to play at this level. You know, and just you know, it takes some time.
What is this season brought out of you as a coach in terms of keeping the players motivated and focused? I mean, you have the 5-1 start, but now you're in a losing streak. And how have you been able to keep that even keel with the players?
That part of it, you know, I'd say it's not going to be hard, but I don't know. I mean, I guess, you know, it's always a challenge. I think anytime you go through a long season, we're no different than anybody, you know, win or lose. It's a challenge getting guys ready each week, and I think, you know, you're dealing with college kids that sometimes are very, very young and haven't been through this thing before. And, you know, I think it's consistency in what we're doing as a coaching staff and what we're teaching them and how we're going about our business. And, you know, we'll keep on doing that and keep on pushing them and keep on being consistent. And the players will obviously, you know, keep on getting that message and keep on getting better.
Mark, this is one of those road games where you never coached as UK head coach or UK fans seem to find their way into this game on the road more than many of the other conference games. How much would that help you to have a Louisville at home there?
No, I think it would be very important. That doesn't surprise me that they would find their way into this stadium and see a lot of blue, and look forward to seeing that on Saturday.
Mark, USC, Notre Dame, and LSU are playing with a lot of freshmen. Is it so?
Pardon me?
That's USC, Notre Dame, and that's Southern Cal, Notre Dame, and LSU. Yeah, they've all playing with freshmen, a lot of freshmen. Is this sort of indicative of your team being so good?
You know, I really would have no idea. I'd be throwing a dart out there to speak on their behalf. So I don't really know. Of course, Louisville, LSU, I know them because I've played them and everything. And, you know, I think if you ask them, they'd probably say that. But, again, no coach wants to sit up here and make excuses. It is what it is, you know, and we all know that we're a better football team with experience. You know, we all know that the teams that are winning a whole bunch of games out there have some very good older guys on their team. And so that's what we're all striving to do is have that experience and that leadership and that depth. But it's not always the case. And there's cases, you know, you could also look around the country, and I'm sure there's some freshmen making some big impacts on some top 10 teams as well. So, you know, it happens. It's just when you're counting on quite a few of them, it's hard to count on a whole bunch of freshmen to go in and win a bunch of SEC football games.
There's a chance that the SEC could get 13 bowl teams, I think. What would that say about the depth of the conference? We hear so much about the top teams, but just how deep.
Well, I think you're starting to see that depth top to bottom that we all want, and I think it's pretty evident. It gets talked a lot about, certainly in the preseason, you know, with the SEC, with conferences and all that stuff. But I think it's pretty evident that all 14 schools in this league are doing everything they can to build a quality football team. Obviously, it's difficult because once again, there's nobody really going backwards. Everybody's going forward.